everybody on Fighter House, and I had a whole thing ready to introduce us with, and I forgot it. But look at that, we're on actual PlayStation 2 hardware as Double RPG plays Suikoden 3.
Yes.
And why don't you guys say hi?
Hi.
And then I got more to say. Actually, Metal's also. Go ahead. You should also say hi.
Just give him a moment. He's bashful. Oh, hey, LPH.
Hi.
There you
go. Yeah.
In the meantime, there's some things I want to say because I see the chat there. Don't worry, I'll get to it. Okay. Canada won a gold medal in breakdancing of all things. Over US and Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess that means tonight they're going to be having celebratory airings of Breakin' on the CBC, so I guess I better watch.
And D23 happened. There's a ton of trailers. We'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure when we're stuck on what to talk about. Because there's a lot that D23, the Disney thing, showed. And now to the chat. Our child asks, are you transferring data from 2 to 3?
No.
And LPH said he got his power back. Because you don't know, his power was out. When I was streaming, it's like, oh, my power's out. I'm like, oh, dang.
Dang.
God, at least it wasn't super duper hot. Like that like when it went out on me, like a few weeks ago?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
It was hot too. That's why I was even more mad about it. I was like, oh, I'm just sweating here in the dark, the hot dark.
But no, I'm
cool
to answer your. Oh yeah, this is the first Suikoden game to have a anime opening, and just so you know, it's also animated.
It is very well done.
It is animated by Studio Gonzo.
Gonzo, okay.
Gonzo. Whenever you saw their anime.
Yeah.
It'd be like... Starchild said he transferred his data back in the day when he first played this. 2 or 3.
Yeah, I was thinking about it when I was, getting around to this game, but the thing is that it doesn't really do anything substantial like the first game to the second game did. Instead, what it does is that it actually gives you access to... Well, one of the activities you can do when you get your castle is that you can have the characters within the 108 Stars of Destiny participate in stage plays, and 2 of the stage plays are based on events from Suikoden 1 and 2.
LPH asked, what did Gonzo made? Full Metal Panic?
Yes.
Gantz, Kaze no Stigma, Infinity Blood, Count of Monte Cristo, Chrono Crusade. Yeah, they made a lot of stuff.
All the good stuff.
Kaleido Star. Power of Jiraga. Hey, Lord Doom! Lord Doom came in and said, this fade is about to be generational. Also hate Landis. All my homies hate Landis. Sarshaw mentioned Ergo Proxies also by them.
Oh.
Final Fantasy Unlimited.
That's why it's... okay, that's probably why it's so familiar.
And Last Exile, which is why I was able to... When you said Gonzo, it made sense to me, because it looked like the Last Exile people worked on that for sure.
Let's just say it's definitely it's definitely indicative of the late 90s kind of anime aesthetic.
Yep. Early
I mean, we're not quite to the level of Lane or Turn A Gundam, but we're still getting some nice stylized stuff though. So I like it.
Now on the opening, for when we're starting a new game, we can. This is the first game in the series where you don't actually have a character who you put in their name for. Instead, you put in the name for somebody who goes by the name of the Flame Champion. Because the main characters you play as in this game are not the the leader of the 108 Stars of Destiny who recruits everybody and is a silent protagonist. No, the story is actually centered on 3 characters this time around.
Okay. So
Wasn't this? Yeah.
So what are we thinking? I mean, there's always some of our, go-tos like Jujugaba and Bagubajay, but
No,
if you want to,
better,
make me happy.
I got a better name, but yeah, Lord Doom. When you mentioned Landis, I was like, oh man, now I remember who you're talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
excuse me.
I had my finger on the
Trigger.
The L2 trigger. Yes.
Finger on the trigger.
Here,
yeah.
we'll name this as the Flame Champion.
Oh yeah, and that's not all that happened too, because what was it? QuakeCon happened recently as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Along with some cool announcements, not only are they finally doing a definitive all-in-one thing for all the official Doom packages that have ever been released, which is nice. But also, hey, if you want to play on Doom and SNES, you'll be able to.
So yeah, we're gonna enter the Flame Champion's name, but based on the character that everybody loves in Baki the Grappler.
Oh boy.
Yujiro. Well, we got to make people into our dresses, so let's start that.
That or we can just call him Baki. Or Pickle.
Oh boy.
That or we can just go by the name I always chose, and that is Ryu, Ryu.
Ryu. Hasebe.
Star Child or Dookie.
Dookie.
Oh, what the hell? Let's have fun. Let's just stick with Yujiro.
Yeah, why the heck
else.
not?
And as I said,
physical force.
And as I said, I'm not going to load the data from Suikoden 2 into this game. I would, but aside from those 2 stage plays that they add into the game, a few of the characters that do return from Suikoden 2 actually get a few levels added to what they were if you did not, load that data into this game. So I feel that's really not worth it. Now the interesting mechanic about Suikoden 3, as I mentioned, is that the game is told from the perspective of 3 individual characters. You have one who goes by the name of Hugo, the other who goes by the name of Chris, and the other who goes by the name of Ghetto. Geddoe, by the way, not.
Okay, yeah, I was assuming it wasn't that spelling I was thinking of. I'm assuming it was the Japanese.
Yeah, and the site, what we're seeing is called the Trinity Site System, and basically every flame that we select during the gameplay, we actually play through a character's chapter. Now there are 6 different characters we can play as. One that's kind of a side story that's happening in conjunction to the main story that involves the 3 characters and their individual perspective on events. But one of the others is also just one for shits and giggles, and the other is based on one that I'm not going to mention that much right at this instant, because in order to unlock this final story, we need to get all 108 Stars of Destiny. So that's gonna be the reward for this game if you get all 108 stars, as you unlock the 6th and final character to play as with their perspective of the events. But when we go through the entirety of the story, I promise you it will make a whole lot of sense.
Well, I hope so. Hello.
Now, when you select a character, one of the 3 characters, you get a little like prologue synopsis, which doesn't last very long for all 3, maybe like a few minutes in total. So we'll just check all 3 of them real quick before we get started with Hugo's story.
Lord Doom said, forget Landis. Don't recruit him. Kappa.
And yes, Jerry, this is the game that has the Duck Clan, the anthropomorphic ducks.
Yes. That's the one I remember the most of this game. Him right there.
Yeah, Sergeant
The
Joe.
ducks.
Because I played the demo for this a lot.
The
If
ducks.
you remember, if you remember in the
If you
first
remember the
game,
old days.
if you remember in the first game, the unique anthropomorphic race were the kobolds, basically the dog people. In the second game, it was the winglies, or the winged horde, or whatever they're called. You know, the people with the wings. Now in this game, it's the Duck Clan.
Well, hey,
Lord
some
Doom
animals
asked
got to
you a
get it.
question
Oh,
to
of
you
course.
Directly. Lord Doom asked you you specifically a question. He said, Double R, how far in the future are you thinking here? There's some bits that can make other parts impossible.
If you're talking about like certain bits of where certain events happen, I'm trying to piece together that by looking at some facts on GameFAQs through GameSpot to know the actual route in which to go through the stories. Because, yeah, as you said, there are certain parts that do become inaccessible if you select another character's story before that particular part happens. So I know what you're talking about, but like I said, I'm still researching on the best route to go. But right now, I want to at least go through Hugo's story, Chapter 1, and then Chris, Chapter 1, and then Ghetto, Chapter 1. I just want to go in that specific order for those three characters before I think about what to do next.
I gotcha. Well, it's one way to do it, but hey, if you want to go that way, go for it.
Oh yeah, don't worry, Lord Doom. When we get to that character, I promise you that I will try not to recruit a whole lot of people, as I will make sure that when I get to that character, I won't try to recruit a whole lot of people with the other three characters, but once I get to the character Thomas, I will, recruit people under him, so that way things don't get that rough during the gameplay.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, because if you recruit characters when you're playing as either Hugo, Chris, or Ghetto, they won't become accessible because basically Thomas, this character who's one of the one of the 6 characters you can play as through the Trinity Sight system, where you see his perspective on the events. If you recruit characters if you're playing as Hugo, Chris, or Ghetto, then they cannot be recruited as Thomas, so they won't be added to your army. So basically, in a sense, he is the one who starts the main castle for your game, unintentionally. But it's not really acting as like a fort or anything for like a rebel army of any kind.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. I comprendez-vous.
I like what Lord Doom says about Sergeant Joe. Joe demands respect. Look at this glorious duck man.
No,
Now we just need Jason Alexander to voice him. Then we got ourselves a real duck man on our hands. Have any of you guys seen Duckman?
Oh,
yes,
of course I have.
Yes. Not all of them, but yeah, I did see growing up.
Oh yeah.
He went on some good rants.
Yes, he did, and that show definitely was ahead of its time when it came out. Especially with those 2-colored bears.
Yeah, LPH, if Duckman is 30, I think. If not, he's close.
Mm-hmm. Because it was sometime during the mid-90s when that show debuted.
Duckman debuted 94. Yeah, it's 30 this year.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
There you go.
March. So yeah, it already turned 30 earlier this year.
Dang. And yet that show's still not streaming on anywhere. I was kind of hoping it would stream on Tubi, and if it was streaming on Tubi, I'd be like, oh, I'll go watch the show right now. Well, not right now during the stream, of course.
Well, you'd want to go watch it soon. Is the short version of that.
Okay, we just saw Hugo's introduction, so let's take a look at Chris's. And Chris, she is one of the, she's probably one of the first female characters who can become like the main commander of your army if you choose her to be the flame champion later on. Because the main gimmick, or I wouldn't say the main gimmick, but the true runes that are affected in this story are the true runes of the elements. So seeing as how the Soul Eater was the true rune that was being like forefront and center for the first game, and with the rune of beginnings for the second game, with the two halves, being the Bright Shield rune and the Black Sword rune. This game, however, the elemental runes, or the true runes of the elements, are the ones that are covered in this story. So basically the true fire rune, the true water rune, the true lightning rune, the true wind rune, and the true earth rune.
Lord Doom says he has Pelinol playing in the background. You know the video. I do. And then he asked you a question again, Kyle. Lord Doom, he said he played all 3 scenarios. Which do you like the best?
Oh, God. If I had to say... man. In terms of actual canon, I do think that Hugo's story makes the most sense, but in terms of the one that I think I like the best, in terms of like character development between the 3 heroes, I would say maybe either Hugo or Chris. I mean, I do like Ghetto's story because of his history when it comes to in relation towards the events that play out in this game. But I don't know. I just think I just feel that he's already like a well-established hero at that point. So between Hugo and Chris, it just seems like they're the ones who seem to have gotten the most development in this game.
Gotcha says he likes Ghetto the most. And you would know this, Kyle. My question is, was this after or before Suikoden 2?
This is after Suikoden 2, roughly 15 or 16 years after the events of Suikoden 2.
Okay, so this one's the one that's not the prequel.
No. 4 and 5 are the prequels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the better question, so whose arms and legs did you have to saw off to get this game, Double R?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, are you looking at the prices for this game?
No, I just know that they're, this is, one of the highest, insane and PS1 games out there, because I know it didn't get a very large print run, I don't think.
Yeah, it only cost me about $40. I managed to get it off eBay for about $40 in new condition.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, trust me. Out of all the ones that are the most rare when it comes to the PS2 era, then Suikoden 5 is the most rarest of them all. That one goes for both arms and both legs.
I gotcha.
Dot hack is pretty rare too for some reason.
It is, yeah. Come to think of it. I got an itch here.
I saw Lord Doom's response about which one he likes the most out of the 3 characters with their story, and he also agreed with Starchild that Ghetto is his favorite, where he feels that Hugo is actually the most befitting when it comes to this game's story, for who becomes like the main commander of the rebel army, pretty much. Thing about Ghetto is he actually has an eye patch. That I always found that to be one of his more definitive features. Now, and where this game takes place, it actually takes place in the Grasslands, which is located west of Dunan, which is where Suikoden 2 took place. That or northwest of Dunan. Or Dunan, however you want to call it.
Dude, Nan.
Well, Lord Doom, if you remember, Hugo's mother, she was actually in the Highland Army in the second game, so she was under Joey Atreides' command. But yeah, if you look at her now, yeah, she is a very beautiful lady. Okay, so we got through all the prologues for the characters. Now it's time to actually get into story. Actual gameplay.
Alrighty. Ooh, time for the actual shit now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one for walking simulators. I tend to like games in my, actual gameplay in my games, not just story.
Oh, I know. Don't worry, there's a good blend of both.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Let's just say the era of the boom of walking simulators in the late 2010s was just a laughable time.
There's a couple more that were announced.
There's Hugo's mother, Lucia, from the second game. She's a lot older than she was when she was in Suikoden II.
Lord Doom said when Sergeant Joe showed up, put some respect on his name. Sergeant Joe is here.
Yes. For the life of me, I always, whenever I saw the name Sergeant Joe, I always thought his name was actually Sergeant Joe Lombardi. I don't know where I actually got the Lombardi part from.
Falco? Falco, or possibly Joe I believe, what was he called? Joe Lombardi?
Yeah.
I think he was a football player, so possibly.
Yeah, that could have been a reference to that.
Either that, or you just thought he felt Italian.
Or that.
Yeah,
I know that's Falco's I know that's Falco and Star Fox's last name too.
Yes.
Is Lombardi.
Oh, yeah.
So it's might have been just Falco, because that's his last name.
If only I could do Donald Duck's voice, then I probably would give that as Sergeant Joe's voice, since he is a duck after all. A duck man. But still,
Duckman.
I wish I had that power that your dad had to actually do the Donald Duck voice.
I know, right? My dad was able to do it just perfectly.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Or however that goes.
Yeah.
Donald Duck's famous catchphrase, "Hey, it's me, Donald the Duck. Quack." And stuff. I am angry.
I don't know why. You're making me think of those bootleg Simpsons thing where, the cake or eat pant. Bart
Eat
pant.
eat. Homer. Consume the pant. No, father. I do not wish to eat the pant.
No. Sorry, Lord Doom. I didn't mean to give you that impression. I like Duckman.
Yeah, I didn't mean it in a negative way.
Right.
Lord Doom said, Sunchild said one of the soundtracks he got came with the 5th game. And the other soundtrack he won through a contest on Konami's website when Part 4 released.
Oh,
Dang.
wow.
Yeah, back when Konami actually gave a shit, so it's not surprising.
Now, if you're... Oh, hey, Overman. Welcome to the chat.
Yo, King Kana.
King.
Exposed on Streamline Live. Can't believe it. Now, also, I'd like to mention that if you remember in the first 2 games, that the main composer of both those soundtracks was Miki Higashino from Konami. And where her soundtracks basically had more of an acoustic feel because they had a lot of acoustic guitar playing in them, mostly. Whereas with this game, she is not the main composer of this game's soundtrack. It is actually, if you remember the name Michiru Yamane, then you know where she comes from.
Oh yeah. If you don't know, chat, think of Castlevania.
Yes.
I often do.
And think of Koji Igarashi too, since she collaborated with him quite a lot, and even still collaborated with him with Bloodstained. Overman. I see what you did there, Overman, and yes, that is very clever. He's flipping the bird. He's giving the finger. And I'm not making any of this shit up.
Sad part is that is very true.
And just like in the previous game, you can upgrade your weapons through the blacksmiths. Which you can also do that too in Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. And if you played Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, then you can definitely see basically Suikoden 3's like premise in Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes when it comes to like the whole Trinity Sight system where you're playing in the perspective of 3 individual protagonists. I mean, Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes was more like a combination between Suikoden 2 and 3 when it came to certain aesthetics in its creation, like the main characters, the main character of the hero and him and his friend is basically one that resembles that of Rio and Joey Atreides, and and Suikoden 3, basically you're playing in the perspective of both those characters and a female character, and their scenarios have different events going on when you play as either of them.
Muteki said, when we get in a Cadillac.
Where's the car? Final Fantasy 15 taught me anything is everything needs a car ride.
Especially a Regalia, of all things. That car is... That car was goated, though. I mean, it could literally transform into a airship.
Starch outside at his game exchange, they have 12 copies of 100 Heroes over there. It's pretty crazy.
Okay, Kaus.
Yeah?
I'm retweeting something on X. You might like if you want to have a look.
Oh boy, let me see.
Let's just say it's relevant.
You just do it?
Yeah, I just did.
Alright, let's see.
I think Lord Doom and Overman are bound to be mortal enemies based on what Overman said after Lord Doom made his proclamation again about how much he hates people with knife ears.
As he should.
Nah, that's heresy. Oh, by the way, Muteki has something to say to you, Firecouse.
I just saw it retweeted.
Yeah.
That's great. I retweeted too.
Yeah, I know. It's like one of the best bootleg shirts ever.
That's amazing. Before I get to Muteki, the shirt is KOF 2002 Unlimited match, right, Kyle?
Uh-huh.
But instead of any of the characters from the game, it's pictures of Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Scott Steiner, and
I think like Avril Lavigne.
Wait, what?
It's Scott Steiner, Avril Lavigne, and Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right, but what that I was
King of
that I was
Fighters
referring
2002.
I was referring to Avril Lavigne being in that.
Yeah, she is. She's just on this poster for like this damn shirt for some reason. It's like
UFOs.
it's like bootleg
like-
shirt.
It's like, why? Somebody better
Oh, I see,
Photoshop
I
her
see
out
it.
of. Somebody better Photoshop her out of that shirt and put in Weird Al.
Oh yeah.
I saw
Right.
him with Techie. He said fighter. You heard Unky Herb may be coming back with Danny DeVito. Well, that'd be cool if it happened.
Well, yeah, he's still out there, so
Unky Herb.
it's not like he's dead or anything. So yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. No, what is it? He's made. What is it? He did like what was it? A grand total of 3 lines as Herb over the years since his second appearance. And they were just like, I'm broke.
Yeah.
They just had Danny DeVito like literally phone it in and just say, "Hey, say I'm broke. I'm broke." All right, there you go. Good enough.
All right. So anyway, I started blasting. Oh, his son, he starts playing. Well, PA said, "Why I feel like that'll be a Botchamania shirt." Oh, it should be on. Yes,
Yes, it should.
somebody should have a Botchamania sign and wear that shirt. Speaking of what I was talking about with the Eat Pant earlier, Metal, that shirt is those vibes right there.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Eat-
Leg. Eat Pant. Steiner's calculations to the Steiner math. The Steiner quotient.
Exactly.
Scott Steiner, the genetic freak. Samoa Joe. I would say what Scott Steiner called him, but I don't want us to get canceled.
Let's just say Scott Steiner said he'd make him bleed.
Yes, he did.
For you at sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Lord, just
Mojo.
you're already canceled. Don't worry about it. Oh man, I can't. I definitely can't tell Lord Doom about my dream. It was heresy. Although
was.
you'll be proud, Lord Doom, in the dream I did say I am not what I do in the dream I was like, no, I don't like elves. I'm out of here.
As you can see, all
I like Percocet dream though.
Percocet. Or do you like Molly's too?
What?
Oh, whatever. Never mind. You didn't get the reference. Piss off, kid.
You can tell. Like, if I borderline, just even in the dream, I'm like, well, you didn't get it. Get out of here. Even in my dreams, borderline, it's like, no, I gotta.
Makes me wonder if your id is really high, if you know what I mean. To come up with, dreams like that.
It's something.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, just a little.
I mean, every time you hear one of my dreams, you're like, what? You sure you're not on drugs? Like, nope. Especially since the one that I would love to tell, but speaking of cancel, now that one I can't tell. Even though there's an emoji in our Discord referencing it with the roofless thing, the box man.
Oh yes. You can also tell that I put the text speed to fast because even if you just left it on normal, it is slow as hell. for the text speed to
Yeah,
move along quickly.
I guess it's like Pokemon, where I always put it on fast because even on normal it's slow.
Mm-hmm.
Muteki. First, LP said if an elf was fat, will Scott Steiner hate it?
Yes.
Lord dudes, but elves don't have rights.
That is the right answer.
Ah,
Oh.
Muteki said something that both Metal and Double R could say I was ranting about.
Oh.
Muteki asked, "What did you think of Toy Story 4?" And then he said he said he doesn't think it was bad, but it made 3's ending kind of, And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's my problem. When I saw Toy Story 5, I was like, 3 ended it, and I like Toy Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Toy Story 3 felt like it was a proper send-off.
Yeah, it was a good ending, but then they're like, hey, we're Disney. We need
like
more
money.
shit.
Yeah.
We like money. So we're going to make a
Sadly.
4th one. And hey,
And
that
now
brought
5th.
in money. That brought in money, so we're going to do it again.
And we're gonna make an Incredibles 3, and a Frozen 3, and a Moana 2.
Incredibles 3, I actually want.
Okay, yeah, people have been wanting another Incredibles, so,
That one,
that's
Out of all of
all
those,
right.
that's the one I want. That's what I understand getting a 3. But and like I said, I preface it by saying I like Toy Story, and I'm a fan, but even I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm. But hey, at least with the Incredibles 3, at least there's one thing that we get more, and that's more Craig T. Nelson, am I right?
Yeah. Unlike when Family Guy, when Peter wrote the skillful acting of Craig T. Nelson will be missed, and the whiteout went over it and just put, I'll kill Craig T. Nelson.
He's like, do it quick.
Yeah, he gets my gun. Make it quick.
Moteki's like, yeah, more Coach. God, it's been forever since I've seen the show Coach.
Yep.
Wasn't it on TGIF on ABC Friday nights?
ABC, yeah, it was ABC.
It was an ABC
I don't
sitcom.
know
It
if
was
it
not a
was
TGIF.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not TGIF, but it was an ABC sitcom though. I think it was like a Tuesday sitcom or something.
I remember there was a couple times on the show Whose Line Is It Anyway where Canadian comic Colin Mockery, whenever he tried to do a Craig T. Nelson impression, it was just basically his own voice. So it's like, what's the difference?
Like, I'm Craig T. Nelson.
Evidently. And now here we are with the map screen. Now this is something where some Suikoden fans might actually get a bit turned off. The map screen in this game, you just basically go to the places you want to go to by just moving the cursor, and it'll just move your character towards that point, so that way you'll enter inside of the location, pretty much.
Yeah. So basically, fast travel, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, having to trudge your ass all the way there.
Exactly.
Which, hey, I understand. That's, some people's thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, heck, there are some people I hear of that, even this day, like, even in modern games, don't use fast travel or anything and still like to hoof it.
Yeah,
Like,
some people don't
like they'll play
I
like
do.
Skyrim or something and just like always use horses
Yeah,
and
yep.
shit. Or walk or use horses everywhere.
I'm not one of those people.
Well,
I don't have the. Sometimes I'll like to walk, but yeah, most of the time, like if I can fast travel, I'll do it. Like,
no, I gotcha.
some people are like, oh, blah blah. I'm like, look, I don't have that attention span anymore.
Now you can see that I have Hugo and Fubar in a row together, and that's because Hugo can mount on the Griffin, Fubar. So basically he can act as like a boost to your attack, essentially. A major
Nice.
boost. Yeah.
Neat.
Oh, but poor Lulu, he got defeated. Now I know I'm not going the right way, but I'll just show you, what Duck Clan Village looks like, or Duck Village looks like, real quick before we head back. Head in the proper direction. So, sorry for a bit of the sidetracking, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes boss fights in this game can happen at random for the characters. They won't, show up right away per se, but sometimes they may show up at random or activate at random when you're in a stage or location, wherever you're at. I remember fighting a wild boar in this stage before going to Duck Village and getting a crap ton of experience for it. It was kind of nuts.
Like me. Just like a good old. It's always good to find a nice little grinding spot.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Metal, did you ever have any experience with this game at all?
No, not so ever. So I'm just watching all this weird shit unfold.
Because I played the demo back in the day because remember demo discs, remember Jam Pack and PlayStation Underground and all that.
Hey kids, remember demo discs?
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude!
I still have all of mine. I still have them all. PlayStation Undergrounds, OPMs, and Jam Packs.
I did too, believe it or not. Well, I didn't have the PS1 ones, but I actually do have most of the PS2 ones.
What is it? There's like... What was the thing I was thinking of for years is that... What was it? Because there's like one specific issue that's apparently quite... like one specific demo disc that's quite valuable for some reason. I'm trying to remember why.
Now here we are in Duck Village.
This doesn't look like Duckburg.
Here in Duckburg. Duckblur? Something. Ooh.
Here in Duck Ass.
Here in Duck Tits. Woohoo.
You have this movie
Anybody's...
about a cute little ducky, and all of a sudden you start off with duck tits? Are you mad? Never thought you'd make that reference.
And what can I say? I like Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah. It's got quite a cult following,
Let's just say
especially in Europe.
Well, let's just say, especially when you watch it the first time, you don't expect, duck boobs. Woohoo.
Oh yeah, Daisy's knockers.
Or to see Marty McFly's mom try to F a duck, so yeah.
All
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know, that part, I'm like, I don't know about that part.
Would you say that movie was pretty much what inspired furry fetishes in this day and age?
I feel like there's a couple of things.
I mean, I'm
prior to it.
sure. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure it certainly didn't help.
Yeah.
It was probably some people's, shall we say, instigating incident. I'm sure it's out there.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm sure there's a lot worse examples out there. Like, I don't know, Congo or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the African jungle that was supposed to be like Jurassic Park, but with a huge gorilla.
Jurassic Park, but gorillas, and it's like, oh, but it's this story about this freaking goddamn these friggin' psychic albino monkeys that live around a goddamn volcano, communicating with like this other chimp that's learned sign language and everything.
Oh, weren't there lasers sawing them in half too?
Yeah. At the end, lasers were just straight up fucking exploding these goddamn apes like left and right.
I remember that.
And it also very infamously had a very shitty Sega Saturn game.
Yeah, it did. I remember the game.
A like super ass clunky, borderline unplayable FPS on the
Star
Saturn.
Child remembers the movie.
Oh well, yeah,
Metal.
I'm sure. Like, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like, the movie's not great, but it's all one of those so bad it's good thing. Let me put it that way.
Lord Doom said that about the movie. That sounds nuts. This is what it sounds like when I explain JoJo to people.
Well, no, and not to mention, it actually has a really good cast because it has Tim Curry in it, it has Ernie Hudson in it,
Yeah,
it has
Star
Bruce
Child mentioned
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
Well, he has a minor role, but yeah,
Yeah, for a
he's
little
in
bit.
there. What's his name? Mitchell's in it.
Nuts.
Joe Don Baker, that's right. Joe Don Baker's in it. And yeah, weird monkeys getting lasered at the end and then jumping into a volcano. So, because reasons.
They just wanted to head out.
Also, at one point, Tim Curry almost calls Ernie Hudson the N-word. So
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
he's like, "Shut the F up, you nick," and then he stops himself. So.
Golly.
So yeah, please note this is an actual quote from the movie. So go check it out. Go check it.
Starshell said he thinks Congo shocked a lot of people when it came out. It was different from other movies.
It kind of was. Let's just say you don't know what to expect when you hear the premise, and then you go in and see it, and it's mostly just these people traipsing through the jungle with this one gorilla that can speak using its power glove.
Yep.
Well, you gotta remember in the first 5 minutes of the movie, some guy gets his eyeball ripped off.
Yep.
Lord Doom said about what you said, Metal. Wow, full setting to hard R. Nice, Kappa.
Yeah.
Muteki said Earth Defense Force 6 is out. Yes, I saw. I
Oh,
was looking
nice.
At it.
Yes.
I was like, that's too much money, though. I ain't paying that much. I like the game, but I ain't paying that much.
I feel like that's a series I need to get into heavily.
Well,
Yeah.
if you love just running around blowing the shit out of giant bugs, it's probably for you, and it's a lot funner like in a co-op and stuff. So.
Right.
Like alone or co-op, it's fun. That's all. That's the entire game. You run around, blow up bugs. But like an ungodly amount of bugs with like increasingly wacky like friggin' like weapons and mechs and shit.
So you're saying it's like StarCraft, but arcadey.
No, it's like okay, what's the best way to put it? If the Japanese take an alien invasion concept, but instead of being aliens, they're just giant bugs, and you just run around with big guns blowing the shit out of them all.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. That's just
Like I said,
just didn't want to pay
don't
full
expect
price.
don't expect terribly deep gameplay. I'm just saying, but they
No.
it's brain dead fun kind of in a way.
Yep.
That's
Like
what,
Dynasty Warriors.
That's what I meant. Arcade style fun, because that's the type of fun that's kind of brain deady, but really fun.
Fun.
Yeah. All right, we're at the halfway point till we get to Vene del Zexe, and that's we're here at Brass Castle, basically the stronghold of the Zexan Federation. It's not just the grasslands that we're dealing with here, people. We're also dealing with the Zexan Confederacy, as well as the Harmonian Defense Force, or Mountain Defense Force, or whatever, since Harmonia does have a stranglehold on part of the grasslands, to some extent. Even though this game is compatible with the analog sticks for movement, I have to say that the analog stick movement in this game is really not fully optimized because there are some parts where you'll just stop dead in your tracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Just like the good old early days of analog sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not wrong.
Just like Mario 64, there was a bit of a learning curve because like we were talking last night when we were playing there on the Hero Club stream, it is a good game, but yeah, it's parts of it have not aged well, like the camera system.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Didn't you hear Lulu? He said stand clear. Get out of the way, boy. Now, another interesting thing about this game, when you're playing as one of the characters, you assume that you know who's who's good and who's evil. But when you play as other characters, it may give you a different perspective of how the events are playing out. It's like, are they really that evil if you're playing this side, or is there some type of conspiracy going on from behind the scenes? You know?
Answer is, it's always a conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
And I guess all Korans, or people of the grasslands, they call the people of the Zexan Confederacy Ironheads, since they're all knights, pretty much.
Oh boy. Something happened right now, and it's hilarious. Guess what happened?
Uh-oh. What?
Well,
A new Baki chapter. You may hear my live reactions.
Oh, Baki. Ooh.
Ah. Bruh. What's gonna happen?
Lord Doom, it's a conspiracy? Nah, that's a paddling.
Exactly. That's a paddle.
Thanks,
Paddling the
Jasper.
cool canoe. Boo, you better believe that's paddling. New Baki.
I always imagine this part where it says, where Hugo says, "Are you threatening me?" I imagine Cornholio saying that right now. Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me, asshole?
Do you have agua? I need agua. So I never did ask at the beginning of the stream, but how's your guys' week been?
Ah,
Not great, but
Lots
you
of,
know, what else
weather
can you
stuff.
do? Of course. Ooh, same here. Mostly.
Yeah. It's actually pretty nice where I'm at right now. Funnily enough. Thought it'd be hot as hell, like how it is in the East Coast at this moment. Because of the aftermath of the hurricane. Hurricane Debbie.
Oh, yeah.
ah. That's it. Okay. So the latest Baki chapter is Pickle and Jack just started fighting.
Ah,
Oh,
And Pickle said two words, two things. Do it and Jack. And they're like, holy crap, you're speaking. The caveman learned to speak.
dang.
damn. Congratulations, Pickle.
and they started fighting, and they both started with fouls. Pickle attacked before the bell, and Jack technically used his towel as a weapon.
Oh, really?
Okay, now here's another one of the new mechanics for Suikoden III that was introduced in this game. The training center. There are two types of centers, not training scissors, but that even though that would really be very badass, but training centers.
Training.
This training center is for like physical combat, and there's one training center for magic-based properties. We're at the training center for physical combat, or hand-to-hand combat, or something like that. Basically, you get a bunch of skills, and these skills you can actually upgrade when you get skill points for defeating enemies after battle. And you can allocate these skill points to the certain skills, so that way you can actually have a better edge when you're in combat, pretty much. So yeah, this is like this game's big innovation. God damn it! I hit the L2 button again to cancel out all that.
Lord Doom. He learns as he fights. like Rolly.
Okay, there, Merle.
Hey, Muteki. I used to be super into honey buns when I was in college. A little too much. Then I ballooned up.
Anyway, at this point,
I was really unhealthy in college, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say I was unhealthy too. I used to eat ramen every single day, like every other college student.
I used to eat honey buns and soda for breakfast. That's not breakfast.
Mm.
Dang.
During college.
I mean, it is to me, but all right. Okay, well, not literally, but I'm just trying to make the joke.
Yeah. But yeah, Kyle, you were saying.
Now I lost my thought. Oh, okay, now I know what I was going to say. So basically right now, the thing I want to try to upgrade the most right now is accuracy, because there are certain points where when you're fighting against enemies that it makes it hard to actually hit them because their evasion is kind of high, so increasing something like accuracy helps alleviate the the ability to hit enemies like every other RPG, pretty much. Woo!
Somebody said about Pickle learning to talk is that the next chapter is going to be him pulling out a monocle and talking like an old British guy. Like, as you see, old bean, I did not break any rules. As you just... Oh no!
I can imagine that happening. So he's basically like Oog from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the caveman who actually came into contact with that scientific computer that's in the shape of a sphere that Frylock made that actually grants people, I guess, a really good intellect, I guess you could say.
I guess. Metal, you would know. I only have. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Oog is pretty much the caveman character who says in that season 1 or 2 episode, "No, me bored, and then starts wrecking the Aqua Teen's apartment house. But yeah, I would know Aqua Teen Hunger Force a little bit more.
No, but Metal Lord Doom said he got his God Goku figure arts.
Nice.
It's a Goku, all right. It's probably my favorite Goku. You don't have any figure arts in Goku?
I do not know. Believe it or not.
I only have one figure art, and it's of Goku. But it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Oh, you know what? That's the base Goku, so it's all right.
I know I need to get me some SH figure arts in some capacity. Of anything.
Oh, you just gotta find one you like. You can go for it.
Yeah.
Well, now GameStop sells them now, so that helps.
Mhm.
If you don't want to buy them at P Banda or anything.
Yeah. Except a lot of what I see at GameStop are Van Presto figures.
Star Trek at Walmart even has them too.
Oh,
Kentucky
yeah,
says
that
he
is-
has a bunch of figure arts. Yep.
That's right. I forgot about that. They actually do have SH figure arts at Walmart sometimes.
Of course, the one near me being crappy, I barely see any of that stuff.
Although I really wish my Walmart would have those NECA figurines of Tatsu from the first Ninja Turtles live-action movie, which finally went out, which I'm actually really happy about because you never thought that would see the light of day. Yeah, and I saw that from Star Child, what he put in collectibles. That was pretty goated.
Kentucky says he has that same God Goku figure art, but it's in his pile. And he also has his God Goku Comic-Con exclusive. And Kentucky mentioned their figure arts at GameStop, Walmart, Target, and Barnes & Noble.
Yep.
Sucks that the Barnes & Noble quote-unquote closest near me is like 2 towns over. So, why I barely get to go there.
Yeah, the last Barnes & Noble I went to was in 2019, but it was about 2.5 hours away from me because I had to go to a town for about like a whole week that was work related, so I could learn how to do click list or basically pick up for my store.
That level drive, you said 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Golly, to me that's like driving to New York City. That's literally how that distance is for me. I'll be in Manhattan.
If you want to know where in Kansas it's located, in Wichita, the biggest city in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that level of drive you did.
I
That's
really
like
hear
going to New York City.
I hear they have a kung fu gorilla problem in Wichita.
I was gonna say yes. King Kung Fu. That was where they actually shot that movie at. Was in Wichita, Kansas. And the tallest building at the time was the Holiday Inn, believe it or not.
And that's what he climbs. The Holiday Inn in Wichita.
Yep.
Mind you, that movie's kind of crazy for other reasons as well. So.
Well, it's another one of those it's so bad it's great movies, but it's like you got to be in the right mood to watch it.
Absolutely. Like, yeah.
So yeah, you see a couple more of the 108 Stars of Destiny that we just came across, and the man Fred, he's actually part of the Maximilian Knights, and basically the Maximilian Knights are knights who help out those who are in trouble or need help to repel evil from their lands, basically. It's basically in the same league as that old man who's a knight who goes around helping people in the different countries in the first two games.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the U.S. Basketball team just won gold.
Nice.
Oh.
Apparently a long shot from Steph Curry.
There, now that guy who was dunking on America in Rush Hour 3, that taxi driver,
Yeah.
now he can shut up. Because remember what he said? You can't even beat the Europeans in basketball anymore. I guess we can now.
Well, apparently the Canadians can't because we lost like early on to the French. So we lost to the French and then we're out. So
well, you guys did win breakdancing, like I said earlier.
yeah, we won gold breakdancing, which is the new event this year. So or one of the new events this year.
And by next year, esports are going to be an Olympic event.
Yeah, by ooh, damn.
By
Tekken's
Evo, of all
there.
people.
I should just train like mad. Get down a destruction rank and just keep training.
Well, the problem
Yeah.
is we don't know.
What
The whole
games
problem
we
is
play,
right. Yeah, that's the big problem. Is they haven't announced anything, and there's a lot of discussion over what they should go for, like how they
I'm
should
hoping
maybe.
Tekken's there.
Apparently the main talk is they're gonna focus on like best way to call it is non-shooter and non-fighting games.
Oh,
Which,
geez.
by the sounds of it, most likely means they're going to be MOBAs like League or Dota.
Yikes.
And I don't care about watching those games. Do you?
Hell no.
So yeah, think more MOBA and less like FG less Evo and more yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure that Pokemon Unite's going to be there. Because that's
It'll be
that's
interesting.
a MOBA game.
Oh, and speaking of games, folks, remember this year, the Olympics decided not to do any more video games because they're going to focus solely on NFTs and esports.
Oh. Yeah, that was all Sega's idea. Not ours, folks.
Mm.
Although I do commend them for stopping Mario and Sonic at the Olympics because really, I don't think I can go on with that series anymore with doing another just mini-game completion. It's like, it's been done to death.
It peaked with Vancouver. And that's not just because it's one of the few games where you can give Peach a gun. So...
But it's like, do we really need Mario and Sonic at the Olympics to actually make a game about it?
Well, like I said, it was an approach that they decided to do for like a while, which, you know, was certainly a choice. But, which is unfortunate because I have fond memories of playing some, you know, truly horrendous dog shit like Izzy and the Quest for the Olympic Rings, which was the friggin' mascot platformer.
You poor soul. You poor soul.
Thanks, Sega Channel.
Oh, you actually had a Sega Channel when you grew up?
Yes, yeah, we had a Sega Channel for about like a year and a half.
Oh man, that thing was goated. That thing was ahead of its time.
I was gonna say that's where I was introduced to a lot of the hidden gems for the Genesis stuff. Like, well, probably the biggest one to me was Pulse Man, probably, but other stuff like Alien Soldier and other imports that they'd put on the service like every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those are like the big ones.
Right.
There was some like shump too, like some Japan only shump on there. And yes, I actually do remember the infamous version of Sonic 3D Blast that was split into two games, and you had to use a password from one to play the other.
Oh boy.
Which was a limitation with the Sega Channel, so they had to do that.
Yeah.
Like one of their head programmers has a whole video series going over a lot of this stuff.
So basically, like one of the earliest episodic games that could be played on a internet
Yes,
device
so yeah.
before playing the full experience on a cartridge.
Yeah, and not to mention, I also remembered that the Sega Channel version of Street Fighter II Champion Edition actually had to cut 4 characters for size constraints. So they essentially cut out the boss characters.
Oh boy.
So you could only play as the non-boss characters in Champion Edition because of size reasons.
I want to play as those guys, but you can't.
Yeah.
Not on the Sega Channel version, anyways.
Well, no. I mean, hey, if you go find one of those little Street Fighter My Arcades, that's basically running a modified version of the Genesis version, just made to act more like the arcade version, which it does a decent job of, admittedly, and it also has like the unmolested Champion Edition on there as well. But
just don't take the other approach when you're around bears, okay? Or else you cut to Donald, who has this really weird look on his face when the park ranger gives that rule to people not to do that to the bears.
Don't poke them either.
Yeah, exactly.
no, man, you got to give them your picnic baskets. Got to give Yogi your picnic basket.
Out of all the Hanna-Barbera characters, who do you think could woo ladies the best? Snagglepuss, Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Magilla Gorilla?
None of them.
No,
Really?
I'm gonna go with my base answer, which is Wally Gator,
Okay.
my boy.
Who technically said Huckleberry?
Well, let's just say of the non-big Hanna-Barbera
Oh, okay.
series.
You know what?
Like of the
Lord Doom said.
Oh well, okay. Well, speaking of like the lesser known like Hanna-Barbera characters, yeah, I'd probably go with Wally, but that's just a personal damage of mine.
Yeah, I was about to say Lord Doom, checkmate. I always remember that one song that he would always sing to himself. If you're muscular and you're handsome, say I am, I am. If you're muscular and you're handsome, say I am, I am. Really? Captain Caveman, you think, Muteki?
You know, yeah. I can see why. Have you ever seen his old show where he was with the three teens or whatever, the three women or whatever?
Oh,
And
okay.
him in the
basically Josie and the Pussycats, but helping them.
That reminds me of Casper, but Josie and the Pussycats, and also in space.
Let's just say we're not. None of us are picking Funky Phantom, right?
No.
No. Now, Funky Phantom can F off.
And we're not talking about Space Ghost either, because he's kind of an asshole. And by asshole, we do refer to the Coast to Coast version played by George Lowe. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm on week vacation right now, and my birthday's coming up this Friday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, gonna be 38.
Oh, don't worry, only two years to go until it all ends.
What ends?
Life ends, and you realize it's all been a waste.
Jeez.
And your only solace is at the bottom of a barrel and staring down the barrel of a shotgun. Or, not. Whatever.
Oh, thanks, Lord Doom.
Obviously, I'd wish you a happy birthday. I was just being silly.
Yeah, I was about to say, when did you take a dark turn for this live stream, dude?
No, I didn't.
That's metal.
That's the bit. That's the bit.
Well, I mean, his nickname is Corp, so I guess it all makes sense.
Well, in a way, it'll all make sense. And if it doesn't, then just pretend it did.
Here we have Hugo and Lulu trying to get that Ironhead to speak, but Sergeant Joe's like, there may be a more diplomatic way to get the results we seek, so, yeah, they're not going to talk. If you just talk casually, you need to talk militarily.
Time for some aggressive negotiation,
Yes.
which is negotiations, but with blasters.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I see Sergeant Joe on screen, I just keep on thinking, why did Duckman join the army? Or I guess a more potent one would be, why did Howard the Duck join the army? Since he does look kind of similar to Howard, so.
He does.
So yeah. I guess, why did Howard the Duck join the army? I thought he was all about just hanging out and getting drunk. And like ogling, duck boobies. And possibly trying to sleep with human women, which is just weird, but whatever.
When you ask why did Duckman join the army, I should ask, why didn't Corn-Fed Pig join the army, or did he?
Maybe he did. Maybe he joined, the other army.
Funny, I didn't realize that until much later that Greg Berger was the voice of Corn-Fed Pig and Duckman. Which, if you Final Fantasy fans know, he is the voice of Jecht in Final Fantasy X.
Burger.
As well as the long-running voice of Odie in all Garfield media.
Yeah. Funnily enough, you wouldn't think that. It's one of those weird things where you'd think they just use like dog sounds or something, but no. They actually have somebody come in and just act like a dog.
Oh, Fred Tatasciore or whatever it makes it.
Oh yeah, Fred Tastacore. Was it? Obviously Frank Welker is the big one.
Frank Welker, yeah.
Yeah.
Who, is famous for doing like a shit ton of animal noises.
Yep.
Is one of the few people I can think of that has played a talking dog for almost 50 some years. Except for times when he isn't Scooby.
I love what Lord Doom said. I'll get my negotiation lightsaber. Make the elves pull their weight.
I always, it's funny that we're talking about Scooby-Doo. I always thought of it so funny how Shaggy broke the fourth wall when but basically it was that one point where I can't remember what special it was. Wasn't it like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island or something like that, where the Mystery Machine Gang or whatever, or Daphne,
Mystery Inc.
Velma. Yeah, Mystery Inc. They were going to that zombie island or whatever, but Shaggy forgot to bring their luggage, and so Daphne and Velma were kind of chastising Shaggy for not bringing their luggage, but Shaggy was like, "Well, what do you expect? I mean, we wear the same clothes every single week." And then Velma and Daphne were just kind of looking at him in just shock and awe, like his argument actually defeated theirs, and then Fred's like, he's got a point.
Yeah, says Fred in his friggin' ascot that he always wears. All I can say is, as long as you ate Velma, I think it's alright. And by that, I mean the show, not the character.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always a Daphne guy, but, that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, no, I understand why people, would go for Velma, nerdy girl kind of thing, but I don't know, never did it for me. I
I
was
don't
always a
know.
Daphne
I
guy.
mean, based on that Velma show that aired on Max and Adult Swim, I think people's opinions may have changed about the character. You know.
I was gonna say that is probably not a very good representation of Velma, since I'm pretty sure most of that was just damn it, what's her face?
Mindy Kaling.
Mindy K. I'm pretty sure most of that was just her projecting her shit and just using a thin veneer of Scooby-Doo, which is basically what the show was. So yeah.
Lord Do says someone said my hatred of elves is internal. Then he said, I don't know how I can get more external with my thoughts. Tekken
I don't know.
said, what happened to Mindy once the office was over? She was different. Yep.
Well, I know she was one of the writers on that show, so what is it? She actually had one show that lasted I think
it was just about her. Yeah, yep. I remember.
So it's not to say that she's been completely unsuccessful. It's just that Velma was. Let's just say it comes from a time when Hollywood was greenlighting just about any project, from certain groups. And look where that got Warner Brothers Discovery now. Their shit's in the toilet.
Pretty much. I mean, and even Cartoon Network completely shutting down because they moved everything to Max.
Yeah, they moved everything over to Max, so Cartoon Network now has absolutely no online, online presence essentially.
Yeah, and Boomerang's not going to have an online presence either because they're shutting down in October.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, like I said, Zadislav, he certainly is. It's certainly an interesting strategy to run a company to systematically destroy it in just a few years and devalue the shit out of it. So, mind you, that's what conspiracy theories say was the entire thing in the first place. Was to basically gut and devalue the company as much as possible, and then find somebody to sell off to.
Hopefully try to increase the strength of one of our characters' weapons, but I highly doubt it. Oh yeah, we don't have enough for those three, so we'll just continue as we are. Now, there's one side event you can actually do when you're playing as Hugo when you're in Vinay del Zexe, and I highly recommend that you do this event because it will actually make your characters gain some levels in doing this little side quest. Because if you are go through the rest of the chapter with this level where you're at for the characters right here, you're gonna get your ass pounded real hard that you'll have a hard time trying to get out of that. So basically do what I'm doing and go through this side quest that we're about to get ourselves into. Does Lord Doom have to destroy an elven village with all the women and the children?
Yeah, sounds like you might just...
Knights. Go ahead, Metal.
I was gonna say, well, yeah, you want to pull a bit of an Anakin Skywalker on them? Not just the women, but the children too. Slaughter them like animals.
Lord Doom. It's crazy that you basically just said coward. It cowered it out in cursive like that. Kappa. Yeah, so basically this side quest that we're doing involves 3 of these characters who are children who we can have as temporary party members. And we're going to have to go to this cave in the north, and we can actually gain some more levels playing this quest. And trust me, it actually makes it a lot better if you do this. Well, things go more smoothly. Now, we won't go through the entirety of Hugo's first chapter in this stream, but at least we'll get a good chunk out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're looking about the length of how long it took for me to get through Suikoden II for the Geek Fighters. That or about maybe 16 streams of this, or episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Metal, Lord Doom gave a Yu-Gi-Oh reference for you. He said, "I'm like Buster Blader, but for the elves."
Yeah, the Elf Slayer. The Elf Slayer sword. But the only thing is, with Buster Blader lore, that means you must take on one of their young and raise it, only to in the end have to kill it. But that results in you unlocking a super awesome power-up.
Yeah.
Basically, these kids think that we're trying to take over their castle, which is inside the attic of some random house.
My favorite.
I just saw when Lord Doom wrote even more. No. Metal. He
No.
said not only is he a Buster Blader, but he also has a built-in DNA surgery so that he can gaslight himself into thinking everything's an elf.
Oh my god!
Oh. Well, hey, it works.
D-Lit, run away! Elrond, run away! Arwen, run away! Everybody, run away! We got a true Pelennor White Strake in the real world about to come after you.
There's a what if I'd love to see. He's like Pelennor White Strake in Lord of the Rings. Because don't forget, Sauron tends to like to take the appearance of a beautiful elf prince, so that'll be interesting.
That dragon has pointy ears. It counts. Blue Eyes White Dragon, as Metal has in the the Discord avatar that you see over in the chat.
Here's the thing. Those aren't ears, technically. They're... Okay, what's the best way to put it? They're like crest things that go into each other, that, like, the top one is the head, so they're not ears. And the things on the side of the head are, like, I don't know, teeth that are just, like, poking out the side and just, like, hang off the side of the dragon's head. If you want to look up the artwork for Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, because this is just, like, a super embossed picture of one of those, so... Also, I have to remember to change this Discord thing one of these days to something else.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's right. Dead air that thing. Huh? Lord Doom said
Exactly.
we did that once. Pelanon, Eastgrimor, and D&D. It was a fun game. That's right, Eastgrimor is the other one. His axe, remember metal. His axe
Yeah.
does extra damage to elves.
That it is true, straight up. Does extra damage to elves.
Wuthred, that was it. That was neat.
Yeah, Wuthrad. Yeah, it does like like 100 more damage to elves or something like that.
I've been playing Skyrim again lately. Although my Sky UI broke. Like, not even any crazy mod, just Sky UI for some reason doesn't want to work on, did something to my control scheme. Like, yeah, that's a common problem. I'm like, well, I still need it because other mods need it. Retro.
I don't think there's really nothing of any interest inside this attic. No treasure chest or anything like that. Which, oddly enough, this game does not have a lot of treasure chests. The only
really?
treasure chests you get are from optional boss fights.
That is weird for an RPG.
That is certainly a choice. I don't know why. Kind of reminds me of FF13 with their quote-unquote chests that were just hovering Pokeballs of, like, low-level shit, usually.
Yeah.
Like potions and stuff, nothing really useful. Well, it's like potions and stuff you could sell, but I think that was about it.
Mm-hmm. That's basically one of those games where you can say, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," when you're playing it. And yes, kids, the big duck man is coming with us, too. Oh, they called Hugo the Duke of Korea. Wow. Hugo is from a nomadic tribe, but yet they called him a duke.
Somehow. He's a duke of wherever he walks, I guess.
He's a Duke of
a
Nukem.
nomad. Duke of Earl.
Oh yeah. So okay, yeah, that's right. Somebody pointed out something. So there's a website where like people like it's basically like a Wikipedia and stuff for board games. It's called Board Game Geek. But they also do like a bunch of other tabletop stuff. And let's just say their entry for Yu-Gi-Oh has not been updated since like 2008. So, and it's hilarious.
Who would you guys say the best duck is in pop culture?
Duck. Well, by far, I would probably go. But by far, I would go Donald.
Okay.
With actually a close second being his Uncle Scrooge. Since Scrooge has been around for like for friggin' ever, and you know, let's just say Europe really loves Scrooge.
Well, I mean, he is Scottish.
For some reason. He's like that. The pulp age hero, the Phantom, for some reason, is massive in Sweden. So, yeah.
Huh.
And no, we don't count the goose from Untitled Goose Game because that's a different
Rat,
species
no.
of duck.
Rat. Yeah, it's a goose, not a duck. Exactly.
Yeah. As I said, different species of duck.
Mm-hmm.
So different, it's a goose.
So yeah, these northern mountains where we're at right now, we will definitely get a lot more experience out of this. And when we get to the end of this stream, I will definitely take some time in between streams to grind more for Hugo's part, just a little bit more, so that way we can get through the entirety of this chapter done in the next stream that we do next week. And speaking of Final Fantasy, you can see it kind of suffers from the Final Fantasy X syndrome where, you know, you're walking in certain directions because it has a little mini-map on the screen. Muteki asks, so Sweden loves Billy Zane?
Do they? Look at him. Man, yeah, I'm surprised this game plays as well because it's playing on real hardware, which is I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
How are you capturing this?
It is
Elgato.
to
Twitter?
Elgato.
The Elgato works with a component?
I'm actually no. I have my PS2 hooked up to an HDMI cable.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh.
and I also have the M Parsec or whatever, that little dongle, which actually can upscale images of like games that are in 720p to like 2K, so 1440p.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know those M dongles. But I didn't know you could just hook the PS2 up.
Yeah.
Or is it like a? Wait, did it really have an HDMI slot?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
It's
okay.
basi-
Okay.
It's basically the same type of input that you would insert if it was for composite or component cables on the back of the PS2. But instead of those cables, it's just an HDMI input.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this game does run really well on PS2, although if I did have to make a complaint, is that it does tend to not keep its frame rate stable in certain instances, because there are certain spots where it actually does play in 60 frames a second, whereas other spots it will just kind of dip down to 30 at random.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the best, but it's not bad either.
Oh, well, I think it works pretty well here so far. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Muteki, since you mentioned the Elgato, Metal Muteki said, Gato! Get it?
I do.
Are you a man of destiny?
I am.
You the winner?
Never, but I try.
What was the capture card that you got, Metal?
I don't know. It was some random capture card that was like $5 at the Amazon return sale.
Yeah, because it wasn't Elgato or
No, it's
Avermedia.
no, it seems like it's probably an off-brand Chinese one. But hey, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say it worked, so hey, whatever. I mean, yeah, I'd love to upgrade, but one of
I know
these days.
Speaking of Elgato, I know I would love to get me a green screen and a key light, so that way you could actually see my face a lot more clearly than being all grainy and stuff, without there being any key light facing me, you know?
Yeah. Though I'm of the mind that, you know, that you don't necessarily need a face cam in this day and age.
Yeah, live to me.
Well, I mean, yeah, and you got PNG tubers, or hell, just say screw it and just throw the game on the screen. Just, you know, start.
Yeah. Some people
Start
actually
paddling.
like that too. Some people just want to see the game do it. Although a lot of people want to, but yeah, I see we're both PNGs here, so
Yeah.
I made my own.
Nice.
I still like mine. I'll use it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
nice.
Your character, basically.
It's just counts.
Yeah. Okay,
Kentucky
one more
said, I
random-
would like to get a bazooka for rock, paper, scissors. That ain't gonna happen.
And like Darkwing Duck would say, let's get dangerous.
Yeah.
You can see that some of the enemies in this cave have a little bit more bite to them. Just a smidge.
Okay, I saw another good one, but you know you don't have to rush to look at it on X, but it's a nice one. You know, it's not as great as the King of Fighters shirt, but it's still funny.
You know, another thing for Geek Fighters, lately what's the word I'm looking for? My creativity started to spark because I recently had a lot of ideas for future top 10 videos going through my mind this week.
Huh.
Yeah. Definitely gonna have to put those into fruition very soon. I saw what you wrote there, Muteki. That's pretty funny. Really, Hugo? Do ducks talk so much in their sleep? I can't even imagine that one would be able to rest that easily because of that. I don't think I would want Donald Duck to be constantly yammering on into my ear if he talked a whole lot. Lord Doom, I'm gonna pose Goku getting folded by Superman, where Superman's gonna get folded by Godzilla.
Yeah, that's right.
still, that is, I'd say that's still probably one of the most incredible things, that Superman was not able to defeat Godzilla in that crossover comic.
No, he got his ass roasted by Godzilla, and he basically got put on his ass. So they definitely didn't want, you know, Godzilla to job to Soups. Let's put it that way.
True definition of the king of the monsters right there.
Yeah.
And then he came for the rematch.
Dang straight.
So, since Superman cannot defeat Godzilla, then there's no way that Goku could beat Godzilla either. Hell, I don't even think that Beerus could even defeat Godzilla. Oh yeah, I mean, Superman does have that ability to destroy planets, for sure.
Past a certain point, you
Techie side, Lord. Yeah. But when Godzilla destroys the city, people cheer.
I'd hate to think what Metropolis would look like if Godzilla actually trampled on that city. That or Gotham City, although I'm pretty sure some people will be like, well, at least Godzilla's doing a favor for Batman. Getting rid of the criminals who are plaguing Gotham. Even the ones who are the most dangerous out of his rogues gallery. I am so looking forward to seeing Godzilla -1 again when I get the that collector's edition for 4K Blu-ray next month. Really? Batman hates Metropolis, whereas Superman hates Gotham, Lord Doom?
Oh, really? That's funny. Overman said, I'd rather deal with a rogue gallery than play a roguelike. I remember talking about that with you, Metal, a couple of weeks ago, where I was like, man, it just seems like there's too many.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly too many. I don't know.
Well, actually, the collector's edition, it actually comes with 4-disc Muteki. One's the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray version of -1, and then one's the Blu-ray version of -1, and then there's another one for the Blu-ray version of -1 color, and then the fourth one is for special features, basically.
Well, that's still cheaper than some of the anime being sold.
Oh, yeah.
$60, $80.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. I just...
The only good thing about Galleon is the fact that most companies are disregarding the MSRP and selling it for 60 instead of 80.
Oh, really?
Good!
Yeah.
The little girl, Alanis. She called Sergeant Joe Mr. Duck. I think I think you really hurt his pride there, little girl.
Well, that's what they do. I don't know.
Huh. It makes you wonder if someone like Carl Winslow's pride ends up getting hurt whenever Steve Urkel calls him by his first name all the time, you know?
Lord Doom explained about I'll read it. He said, the reason why Batman hates Metropolis is because the buildings are too smooth, so there aren't many grappling points. Also, the city is always under attack by aliens.
Ah.
Yeah, basically.
And the reason Superman hates Gotham is because a lot of the buildings are old and use lead. Oh, and the crime rate is insane. He sees why Batman is never happy.
Yeah, well, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I could definitely see the pros and cons based on their arguments about why they hate each other's cities. And yes, Batman is never too happy when he's in Gotham because of all the crime he's fighting in that city.
Chucky said you should go to the Flash's city then.
Ah, Emerald City, eh? Oh no, that's Arrow.
Is it Central or Star? I forget. They all have fake names. I mean, Lord Doom said Joker tried that once.
You ain't fitting.
Yeah,
Joker tries a bunch of shit, so yeah.
Oh yeah, Joker did try to destroy Metropolis. Injustice. That's right.
Oh no, well, Lord Doom said going to Flash's city, and the Joker tried that once. The Flash just grabbed him and threw him back to Gotham.
Oh.
Lord Doom said they didn't even have a conversation. He just stopped him. He just threw him back and.
He just yeets him back to Metropolis.
It's basically Flash saying, "You're not welcome here, man." Okay, there's the save crystal right over there. So, you know, in hindsight, since I think we're at a good spot, maybe we can stop for today's episode.
Yeah, sounds right. It's already about, Sounds
So, yeah.
good to me.
Yeah, exactly. And then next time we'll continue the rest of Hugo's story, of the first chapter at least, and maybe get started on a little bit of Chris's story the next time when we come back here.
Yes.
All right, so since I think I went first last time, Metal, so I think it's your turn to go first. Plugging.
Joy! Well, Visible Ninja 00 on X, as well as I run with dashclub.com. Follow them across social media at Hero for Life. And you'll probably see them tweeting about me streaming for them on Wednesdays and Fridays, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern, so check us out.
Alright, well, you guys can find me on both youtube.com and twitch.tv at WRPG Reviews. YouTube's my bread and butter when it comes to content, whereas Twitch is secondary as I stream on there mostly. And you can also stay up to date with me for all your social media feeds on both Facebook and Twitter at WRPG Reviews. And let me get the links up in case you guys haven't even joined me at those 4 links yet. But yeah, there you go. And that's it for me. Alright, Kaus.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitch, Facebook, is social media, X, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at Fighter Chaos. I'll actually put my Twitch link there because that's what I'm plugging the most here. I stream Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays is King of Fighters 15. Fridays is usually Fate Grand Order, but this Friday we'll be playing Cadillacs and Dinosaurs as a break from Fate. And I
Nice.
do webcomics and art commissions and random art and also other things. So check out Twitter, Facebook, and all that for updates on that. And Double R's posted a Discord link, and you definitely want to join that because that's where we make announcements if we have something brewing or cancellation or time change or something we just posted. So we're always making sure you're up to date in the Discord. So join it.
Absolutely. So yes, anyways, did you have anything else you wanted to plug, or is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, next time, we will resume where we left off with finishing up Chapter 1 of Hugo's story, and then hopefully we will get started with doing some of Chris's story the next time, that we're streaming for you all. But hey, Suikoden is back, baby! Or we should say Suikoden Mania is back, and we are going to have a hell of a fun time for a while with going through the entirety of this game. But anyways, until next week, guys and gals and gamers, wherever you are, I'm Double RPG.
Visible Ninja.
I'm Fighter Cows.
And Fighter Cows, you got 2 words left to end off the stream. And they are?
Nimi. Kanyo.
And my dogs also chimed in because they wanted to plug as well. But anyways, you all have a good rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week, guys. Later.